Gillian, welcome. This is Liz Jones, Jones Realty Group, and I thank you for being here today. I'm excited to see you, and I was just commenting how much I love your hair. It's a new look for you.
Thank you so much, Liz, and thanks for having me on.
You bet. For those of us in my audience that don't know Gillian, Gillian comes to us from, most will know her from Survivor or Reality Really, TV show, a rally, so TV shows that you've done in the past. And I know you from Professional Women's Roundtable, and you're an active, busy, incredibly talented woman raising funds for Michelle's Place locally and other things as well. And I just learned from you for the first time. You've been a nurse for 38 years, an RN. So thank you for that service also. And what sparked this little interview was something you call elder jail. I just cracked up. Elder jail. So I would love to take a few minutes, shut up, and let you do your thing and tell people about elder jail.
Well, thank you, Liz. And, I really value this opportunity because, as you did mention, I have been super, super busy my whole life. I mean, I won't go into that because I'm now going to be 73 in a few weeks. And so it's a very long story. But more recently, and since living in Temecula, as you mentioned, I was on the TV show Survivor, and I run a big event called Reality Rally. And when I started Reality Rally, which came out of my Survivor experience, I said, what can I use Survivor for? Something good. And that's what I've done. So I was so busy. I was everywhere. I was every network. I would go and promote what we were doing, and I would gate crash the Rotary meetings and the BNIs and the VYP and I belonged to PWR and just was everywhere. In order to get the word out as to what we were doing. And the entire reason was not for me to be seen, because actually that wasn't the part at all, was to raise money for Michelle's Place Cancer Resource Center. So I did what it took to do it. So all of a sudden, pandemic. So we had to cancel Reality Rally for 2020, and we have just canceled we canceled it a month ago. For 21, because there's no way we can run a 3-day crazy busy fun people-packed event. I'm still trying to raise money for Michelle's Place in other ways. But so, from being everywhere, I was always up in LA doing things, promoting, talking, being visible. Pandemic. And it was actually, other than the sadness of not being able to raise money, having this fun and promoting Temecula, it was somewhat of a, wow, okay, so now what do I do? So I put myself and my husband in elder jail. And actually, I even made a Facebook cover page of an old lady in a jail. And I thought, and I know that there are so many other people, and especially, and I hate to use the word older people because when none of us are older, it's all just a number. But a lot of people are having a struggle with being in their elder jails. So I thought maybe I'd share a few of the fun things that I've been doing that may spark somebody else to say, oh gosh, that's a good idea. Not that it's brilliant, but it's been so helpful. First of all, cleaning up. There's the Swedish concept of death cleaning. You clean up all your stuff so your kids and family don't have to clean it up after you're gone. So I've certainly got into, and there's a word for it, and it's like Gladysnork or something. Can't remember the name, but so I've been doing a lot of that. So I know all of the people are, and you can, get rid of your clutter, get rid of it. Doesn't mean anything to anybody else, and gather your stuff. And then other things, spending time with grandchildren. Well, all of a sudden we couldn't, but that wasn't going to stop me because I still wanted that connection with my grandchildren. So I created Virtual Bubby Day. And what I did was I sent out an email to my family and said, okay, we can't do Bubby Day, but let's do it virtually. And I will, instead of going places to do things, we'll go onto the internet. So I created fun things, and I had the most wonderful time looking at YouTubes and actually going down the YouTube rabbit hole all the time. But I would think like, okay, and I would come up with and it was actually daily for about 2 months. And then I backed it off to twice a week. But what piques your curiosity? How do giraffes sleep? I mean, what do they do to sleep and how long do they sleep? Well, Google can tell you and YouTube can tell you. So all these kinds of questions, how does this work and how does that work? And the most amazing resources that you can find to satisfy your own curiosity, but to offer it to your grandchildren. I did end up with 25 grandchildren. They're not all mine, but a lot of others said, oh, we want to join. So they all joined, and I sent them all the stuff all the time. And then also networking, stay involved. And I've seen on several of the networks, get on network Zooms, stay connected, stay visible, stay you. Remind people who you are in what way and what can you offer. And I'm saying you being generic. What can you offer to that group? There's a wonderful website that I recently found out about called, gosh, now I knew I was going to remember it, but I'm not. It's been started a year ago for people, and it is for an older population, but it's very good for everybody. It's getsetup.io. And there are the most amazing classes that you can do, from baking to how to use your iPhone to improving your Zoom capabilities. It's amazing, and it's all free.
Wow.
So I got involved with just clicked into getsetup.io and have had classes. You can learn a language. So I'm starting to learn Spanish.
Wow.
I wanted to speak Spanish, and there's so many resources to do that online now. Also, you mentioned I'm a nurse. I did my nursing training in South Africa. And for the past 4 or 5 months, every few months, I started a Zoom group with 5 of my nursing friends from our training days, which was 56 years ago. And it's turned into 26 of us in 6 countries, in 6 time zones.
Wow.
And we all get together and share, and I'm calling it our cognitive decline prevention program, because we have to remember what we did back then and share these stories. And it's been so helpful. So, I thought, well, I will start some other groups with friends, start a book club. I've joined a few book clubs, start a book club. Just stay connected in so many of the ways that you can. And so that's some of my experiences from elder jail. In fact, I was just talking, I've reconnected with family in South Africa. I just got off a Zoom with friends from my childhood in France. They live in France now, but they were from South Africa. So I just spent an hour and a half chatting with them in France about how things are. So, there's so much, because the virtual world opens up so much. I mean, there's Zoom, there's Skype, there's WhatsApp, there's House Party, there's all kinds of things that are happening. And then look to see what you can do that might help somebody else. Right now, my daughters have created a wonderful campaign called the Sunshine Project, and they're putting together snack and grab and go snack bags in yellow bags with everything yellow in it in snacks for 1,000 hospital staff workers in the 4 hospitals in the area.
Wonderful.
So, reach out. The public the community want to help, but how? So find things that you can be involved in, or start something yourself that matters. And so I'm having a wonderful time in elder jail, because I can now go on Zoom in my pajamas. It doesn't really matter. And I don't have to drive everywhere. And it's been amazing, actually, staying connected virtually. We've got it. We've got this technology, so let's use it.
That's wow.
And for people that are a little older, like myself, I have to actually be 73 in 2 weeks. I'm actually fairly techie. In fact, my friends all over the world think I'm brilliant, and it's kind of, I'm not brilliant. I've just taught myself. But there's so much we can use.
Yes.
And have fun with.
Yes.
Normally we're so busy that we don't do some of this stuff, but now's the time. And I do speaking engagements, but I've done like nearly 450 or something over the years, but haven't because of the pandemic. So I'm now updating which I'd like to put this interview on, updating my speaking website which I'd let on the back burner for years. I just was too busy. But I've been having fun seeing what happens to my hair in a year.
Oh my
So,
gosh. Well, I have totally enjoyed this. And I giggle at a lot of places that I've thought of myself. I want to weed closets out because I don't want my kids to have to worry about what happens to me. I saw that the death cleanse or that's great. I love it. And honestly, I'm intrigued and I'm inspired by the other information. You're right. The internet is a wealth of knowledge, and it needs to come from you need to come from a place I'm not afraid to let me discover while it's a free resource to us. And that would be terrific. And it is great. We need to let the mind engage into other things so that we don't grow stale or don't let things start to eat at us, right?
yeah,
So we can't do things the way we used to. So how can we do it?
that's right. We can't do it the same way. So why cry about that? Just do it differently. And you may find the differently is actually better. It could be better. But, talking about what you just mentioned about not letting things get to you, one of the things that's so important, and part of my nursing, I actually worked in a psych hospital. So I was a psychiatric RN for about 10 years. And I love that field because it's absolutely fascinating that the mind controls everything.
Everything.
And, so many people don't get weighed down by all the negative that's out there. Avoid it. Avoid the threads on the different Facebook and Nextdoor and all of those sort of things. Don't get sucked down into that deep, dark tunnel,
Right.
because it will affect you. And then you can't do some of the fun things that you would like to because you don't have the energy. It's been sucked out of you. And surround yourself virtually with positive people.
Great. Absolutely.
Get on and chat to people and laugh and enjoy and reminisce, but get out of those dark tunnels. Too many people are being sucked into them.
Absolutely.
And you just cannot allow it. You being you generically again are in control of what you take in.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people don't realize that, what a negative effect it has on you to be surrounded by negativity.
Great advice. Well, I love this. I can't wait to share it with everyone. You've done a fabulous job, and I so appreciate you. And it's wonderful to see your beautiful face again.
Well, thank you so much, Liz. It's so good to see you again. And one of these days it will be in person again.
Yeah.
In the meantime, let's go down the YouTube rabbit hole and the Google rabbit hole and museum tours. In fact, I've got a whole list of museum tours I can send you.
Oh, I'd like to get that. Thank you. Maybe I can share that with everyone.
International museum tours. They're amazing.
That's
great.
I'll
send you that list on email.
So I'll share it in ours. So thank you, Gillian. I really appreciate you so much. Thanks for being here, taking the time.
Well, thank you so much. And this was a day in elder jail. Thank you, Liz, and all the best to you.